All right, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Go ahead and actually give me a little intro on how you found us. I think a lot of you guys are probably coming from Instagram, a couple posts from Instagram here, Twitter probably, or if you got in there on an email list, YouTube. Just let us know how you found us real quick. All right, so today's webinar here, let's go ahead and just get right into this. We are going to give you a little primer here on basically tape reading and why it is so essential to the many different forms of trading that you guys are going to try to mess around with in your career as a trader. I mean, crypto right now is pretty big. And crypto is actually, they haven't evolved, the markets haven't evolved as much as, let's just say, the NYSE and the NASDAQ and all this kind of stuff. So you're seeing a simple order book here. You're seeing a simple order book with what things? You're seeing a bid and an ask, okay? And that is the basic concept of tape reading, okay? And what happens to this bid and ask? Who's buying what? These are your transactions down here. Buys or sell orders, whether they happen on the bid or whether they happen on the offer. A tape reader is literally just looking at these three things: your bid, your ask, and where the transactions are, okay? And those concepts can be used in any single market, okay? Well, I'm not even talking about, stuff that's traded on these exchanges, like NYSE and all this kind of other stuff. I'm talking friggin' shoes, shit on eBay, anything, okay? We are talking about supply and demand, which gets pushed around here by obviously the buyers and sellers that are involved in that particular product, where they want to buy it at, where they want to sell it at, what the best prices for each are, and then how aggressive these people want to be, okay? So we're going to go ahead and just give you a quick example here of how using tape here can really help your trading. And then again, we are offering here a master course to learn how to tape read and use it, whether you're trading equities, options, if you guys are trading futures out there as well, or even the crypto markets, okay? I focus most of my trading on options and equities as well. But again, you guys can apply these lessons to futures as well. So I'll go ahead and give you the specs on the course later, but let's go ahead and break down a trade here. How many of you guys are aware or know what the Steam Room is and what we provide here as far as a product? Okay, so what we provide is basically a feed, an options data feed, which basically gives us aggressive order flow in the options market to clue us into stuff to trade. And we want to know what to trade, okay? So the flow helps us find what to trade, and then the tape gives you the idea and the know-how on the execution and how to actually trade it, okay? So to give you a quick example here, we're going to run through a quick example, or just a tape example. This morning, there was a big hitter in Apple, okay, that came out right off the open. Okay, now let's take a look at what the market did off the open. You remember last night there was a North Korean missile launched over Japan, right? And the market was down overnight. We opened up down maybe 100 points on the Dow, and immediately right out of the gate, you got somebody that's paying $1 million to add. Okay, and by the way, we've seen aggressive order flow in Apple for the past several weeks, and most of the action has been on this September 160 sort of in the money call. October's here as well for 165, and then way out to January as well. Okay, so we've already seen a lot of action in Apple. Yesterday, Apple hit almost 162, which tested almost the high. And then we had a gap down. We had a gap down, about a 1.5 gap down on Apple. This guy comes in and buys $1 million worth of shit right off the open, okay? And then on top of that, what did we see? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll back here for you and filter this out. So this is also features that you will get as you join the Steam Room and as you join us in the master course here. Let's go back all the way to 9:30. Now, what you're going to see is you're going to see some Apple weekly calls even get played. Okay, so we're talking about these 160s. Okay, that was your $1 million bet right there at 9:32 and change. Okay, and now let's see what else we got. Let's find our Apple bet. Here we go. So you get a little bit more here on September 160s. Here we go. Okay, 162.5 call, and this is at 10 o'clock. Okay, this is at 10 o'clock. 162.5 call at 85 cents, and this was an ad. There was some earlier for a lot cheaper. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to pull up this option. Okay, on the Apple 162.5 call. All right, this option opened up, I want to say somewhere around 30 cents, I think, 30 or 40 cents. Yeah, take a look at this thing, okay? So we started seeing flow in this thing. You can see this buy order right here for about 1,200 contracts, and this was around 70 cents or 60 cents or so, okay? So they started buying around here, 60 cents, 70 cents, all right? And then you get the ad here at around like 10 o'clock, 10 and change, okay? So you get the ad here at around 85 cents or so, and then look at this thing take off. All right. Now, where does the tape come into play? All right. Now, frankly, all this is actually tape. All right. When you're looking at actual order flows, what happens when these giant $1 million orders hit the tape? Okay. Everybody sees this. Everybody sees this order. They see the activity in the weeklies, and now it's like, okay, maybe we make an idea here. We make a prediction here that SPY is going to go green, or SPY is going to, start working its way back. And most of the juice is going to work its way back into the Apple, and we could retest that sort of opening area, which is around 161.5. And that was good enough for 20, 30, 40 cents here on the option. And then lo and behold, stock hits all-time highs later on today after the market completely came back. All right. So to give you another little lesson here, time and sales. So this is what we use to read the tape. Okay, so during the day, you're going to take a look at either a level 2 or a time and sales, or basically two that are connected, and you're going to read through this. You don't have to read everything. Okay, I'm not out here looking at every single transaction, but there are some basic things that can help you understand the dynamics of supply and demand when there's times where there's more demand, aka there's more buyers that are willing to be aggressive at higher prices, and therefore stock price is going to go up. Therefore, hey, buy a call option, play the game here until the tape changes. Okay, simple concepts like that, but how do you actually read it? Okay, so let's just take a look. We're going to scroll through a couple of minutes here of the tape, and let's go through, I don't know, we'll do, let's say 9:45 to the Apple is pretty thick, so it has quite a lot of data, so we can probably only get a couple minutes off this one. Okay, and I'm basically just going to scroll through and show you what I'm looking for. Okay, and that's more or less it. Now, the basic concept though of the tape is that whatever orders there are on your level 2. So for example, here, let's take something like this price line here. You can see our bid is at 330 for 2 contracts, and our offer is at 410. If you guys wanted to buy right now, okay, and this was your spread, if you wanted to buy right now, what price do you have to pay for this option? Let's say you wanted to go long this option. What price do you have to pay right now? Okay, you have to pay, and Sahil's got the answer, you have to pay $4.10. Now, when you look at this spread, would you pay $4.10? Okay, would you pay $4.10, or should you pay $4.10? The answer is no. Now, do most retail pay the spread? Okay, most retail pays the spread because they don't know any fucking better. Okay, so market makers in names like a Priceline or names like a Baidu or something like that, they can really make some good money off of dumb retail order flow, which just needs to be aggressive, and they don't spend the time limiting in and out of these options. Nor do they know much about exchanges, remember, or destinations. Okay, most of you guys are using a broker with an auto route, so you'll send it through an auto route, and basically what happens is the broker gets the commission and gets the kickback. You get whatever fill, and they still have to prove that they give you the best fill, but it might not really be the best fill for you. For somebody like me, I can go ahead and limit. Let's say I wanted to buy this thing, and I can go ahead and limit on an exchange like Amex, or I can limit on a Gemini, and I can get a rebate back for my trade. Okay, I can get a rebate back for this. So these are all the little games and the little nuances about the market that we're going to go ahead and teach you in this master course here. Okay, that all come in to you know, how to trade and how to make your decisions. I got a lot of you asking is what the hell is a freaking rebate? Retail brokers do not kick any of those rebates back to you. However, anytime you add liquidity, it's called the maker-taker rule. Anytime you add liquidity to the market, you should get a rebate. Now, your broker, again, you know, they do all this in the back end. They route your orders to where they want to, so they get paid the most for it. And, you know, maybe you'll get a little better execution or not, but, you know, it's not like you're gonna cry about it, or it's not like you're even gonna know about it. Okay, your favorite broker right now, Robinhood, which gives free trades, yes, they give free commissions yes, they give free commissions, but all that order flow is sold to the highest bidder, to the high frequency traders, and to groups that pay serious money to trade against your order flow. Now, some of you should care, some of you shouldn't. But again, these are all lessons that you will learn as we go through our master course. Okay, and then also learn what type of trading or what type of style, what type of limit orders are best for you. Okay, so moving on from that quick lesson here, going back to the tape. If you have, let's say, you know, let's just take this spread right here. Okay, and this is something that you guys can just take and use. You know, even in your trading, let's say tomorrow, okay? So let's take this order, okay? So on the offer, there's 1,100 shares at 85, okay? Anytime you get a print at 85 for 100 shares, see, that means that this size is going to be decremented, okay, by that 100 share lot. So notice you get a sweep here of 85s. Now there's only about, what, 100 contracts, or sorry, 100 shares left, and now the best offer is one tick above, okay? And then all of a sudden, bids start to react. They say, okay, we see a bunch of buyers here at 85 and 86. Stuff looks good. We're going to go ahead and step up our bids, all right? And just like that, that is how your market moves on a penny-to-penny basis, okay? So if you have, let's take another order, you know, let's try to find another big order. And remember, this is Apple, so this thing has, you know, crazy orders. So we got 1,300 shares here at 89, and take a look at this, right? So you got all these 89s here, and then all of a sudden, 89 disappears, and now we're up here to 90, okay? So that's how your market moves. So notice most of these prints here are on the offer. So once these sellers are done at 89 and 90, then it goes to the next seller, 91, 92, 93, 94. All right? So depending on how aggressive these guys are, aka whoever's trading this thing, depending on how aggressive these people want to get into that stock or get into that option, this is how your tape is going to move. This is how your tape is going to clue you in to some kind of a theory. Okay? So if we're long this Apple, for example, we want to know that on the dips, you know, there are buyers and bids supporting the move down. Like, look at this guy, right? 1,200 shares, he wants at 83. If everybody was panicking and nobody wanted this stock at all, you know, you wouldn't see size like this. You would also see a lot of, you know, you would also see liquidity just kind of disappear. And again, these are just simple examples here on, you know, a smaller time frame. These are concepts that can be used on a much longer time frame for swings. Doesn't matter what the hell you're trying to do. You know, these are the concepts that you want to be able to use. Okay, so again, with Apple, what are we looking for? We're looking for aggressive activity on the offer. That means people are jumping the spread. They're saying, screw it, I don't want to wait for my bid to get filled. Fill me at the offer right now. Fuck it, give me whatever's there. I want that shit right now. We want that kind of activity. And then we want all these buyers who are waiting, we want them to feel the little, you know, feel a little FOMO. We want them to start stepping up their bids, and we want them to start aggressively pushing the price up and also saying, forget our bids, let's go ahead and buy the market. Let's go ahead and buy whatever we can get right now, okay? And then once these things start to pull back, let's say you get a little dip or whatever it is, you know, you don't want to see that liquidity disappear. You still want to see buyers supporting the move and still trying to procure stock at lower prices. You know, and in conjunction with that, you always want to take a look at your market and make sure that you're still trading in the sort of right direction. Okay, so just like that, you know, this is how I traded the price line today. So this was basically a same trade, similar trade as the Apple and the Amazon and all that kind of stuff. So Priceline hasn't bounced a lot from this gap down off the earnings, and then it just absolutely got decimated. It hasn't bounced at all really. So it was just kind of a slow grind up. I took a look at it around 1780, 1790, and I started picking up the what option was it? It was the 1820 call. Okay, I alerted out on Twitter, and guys, by the way, if you want to follow me on Instagram at Sanglucci, and then that's where I do all the live trading. So any live trading whatsoever, I'll do it on there. So here we go. So I'm picking this option up through this whole mess. So I'm sitting there through this whole mess, just picking up this option. Why? Because I'm looking at the indexes. I'm saying, okay, clearly we're squeezing here. Apple looks great. This is a name that hasn't bounced at all. I'm going to go ahead and tag ass after this one, right? So my cost ended up being around $2, and I'm just collecting options, just collecting contracts. I probably should have gotten a little bit more, and then take a look at this move, right? I'm still looking for, some upside on this tomorrow. And again, this is all from looking at the same names and just slowly scrolling through tape. The whole time I'm trading this, I'm studying the tape of the option. All right, I'm studying how buyers and sellers and the market makers are moving around the spread in the option. All right, market making is another concept that you'll learn in the master course, which is very important to understanding where you fit in to the market. You got to be able to understand their games and how they create these spreads and what they're trying to do and what essentially they're trying to do. There's a lot of games that they're able to play that make you pay up for a certain option or make you scared or get you panicked. There's a lot of games that these guys play to get you on the wrong side of the trade, and they do it very, very freaking well. Okay, so that's another example there. So just looking at the Priceline tape as well as the option tape to figure out, okay, do I have buyers in the option? Do I have buyers in the stock? How's my market looking? You combine all of that together, plus, not to mention, one of the greatest tools that we offer right now is just some of the flow here. I think Amazon in the morning, actually, you'll go ahead and see it here. We'll pull it up here in the morning. There was some weeklies here for Amazon. Yeah, check it out. So September 29th, this was for the end of the month. They were paying $19 for these calls, which are what? These are 950s. I think there was another Amazon. Yeah, this was weeklies here for $9.45. So that's this week for $9.45. The stock was trading around like $9.42 or whatever, and then traded up pretty well. If you take a look at Amazon, she did the same thing. So we get the idea from the room. You get the idea from the room, okay, and it could be a swing trade, it could be a day trade, it could be a couple of day trade, whatever the hell it is. You might even be writing options, you might even be trading equity, whatever the hell it is. And then the tape, you take it all to the tape. You take it all to your level 2, your time and sales, and you work the transactions. You try to understand what's going on, if you actually do have a move or not, or if there's actually some edge. And if not, you keep it moving. Today we saw some flow come into Akamai. There was some buyout chatter for Akamai. And you saw this move here. So this was for the gunslingers. These are for, the equities traders. So as soon as a, flow piece comes out on a name like Akamai off some chatter, they just go ahead and buy 1,000 shares of equity or 2,000 shares of stock, and they flip it for a couple cents or 20 cents, 25 cents. And that's their day. Everybody has their different style. The tape here is huge to helping out execution, the right execution in and out for whatever style that you are trading. Okay, so that's your quick example there for Apple as well as a couple of others. Let's take a look now at what we got going on here. Go to sanglucci.com/MC. I'll go ahead and drop the link here for you. Again, this is just one small example of how tape reading can help you. And again, some of the stuff that we focus on, obviously the flow trading, options trading, if you guys are beginners here, what is an option? What are the risks, thetas, the time decay, trying to select the right option for what type of trade you want to make. A lot of it is going to be focused on trading psychology, and then a huge portion of the class is going to be on tape reading as well. And then you're going to get my personal options writing strategy. So this is a writing strategy that I've done for the past year, basically, and it's very solid as long as you have your risk taken care of. You know, so for example, on a name like a Priceline, I will always write options directionally or non-directionally as well, depending on if the stocks are doing nothing. You know, so it might be selling iron condors, you know, and all this kind of stuff. Daniel is saying, will I learn to trade without the masterclass? If you spend enough time in the chat room, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You can totally pick it up, but it also depends on how much effort, you know, how much effort are you going to throw in there? You know, and that's not something that I can control, obviously. That's stuff that, you know, has to do with you and your own sort of psyche. So again, we only have 2 spots left for our 33% discount, so we are giving a big chunk here, 33% off for the first 10 students. We only have 2 spots left for that. So go ahead and let us know if you're interested about that. Let us know too if you are interested and you want us to contact you personally. We'll go ahead and just sit on the phone with you and you know, voice your concerns here, questions about where you are in your trading and where you're trying to go. If we can help you get there, you know, that's something we will do as well. Questions? Any questions at all? Again, small example here of how the tape can help you make decisions as far as executions better, and you'll get it in detail during the course here. Fred is saying, is the level 2 options order flow available to all traders, or do you need to be classified as pattern day trader to have access? Pattern day trader has nothing to do with it. You know, so if you're talking about from a broker level, so for example, like let's say you're using a Fidelity, you know, number one, like the only option stuff that they have, this is the active trader model, you know, they'll have stuff like this, today's biggest trades or statistics here on a particular name or whatever. But we're talking about a feed here that looks at, you know, the whole sort of universe of optionable stocks, and then feeds in only the most aggressive, okay? Because we want aggressive. I want to know if somebody out there is making $1 million bet on freaking Apple because, you know, they think some crazy shit is about to go down. Now, let me give you another example. You want to know what some crazy dude did today? Look at this cat. Look at Google. This came in at the end of the day. So this came in at 3 p.m. This guy bought 1040 calls for December on Google. If you take a look at Google, where the hell is Google at? Google is well below that all-time high. This guy is clearly playing for a move all the way back and then some to all-time highs. So he's looking at this as a monster dip buy opportunity for Google, and that's what he's going for. If I'm out there and I'm a trader here, if I'm looking at this guy, he's making $1 million bet here. Granted, for him, it's probably fucking nothing. But for me, I look at that bet, it's like, okay, you know, this guy's putting his balls to work here. Let me check the tape. Let me check the tape. Let me start taking a look at the tape, and let me see what it looks like. This guy bought 200 calls on Netflix. I saw a huge order go off for 200 calls on Netflix. So that guy's doing the same thing. Amazon, same thing. So they're re-upping in all this stuff. NVIDIA 200 calls, they're out the wazoo. Baba 200 calls, they're out the wazoo as well. People are dip buying aggressively on the Baba too. So when I see orders like that and aggressively taken in the market, that gives me the idea. Now, just because you have an idea, does that mean you're going to make freaking money? Does it? Does it? No. No, no, no. You still need to have a serious plan on execution, where to buy, when to buy, especially if you're going to play options. If you're going to trade options, you fucking need to know when the hell to get in these things. You need to understand why these things move like this and why the stocks move like this. If you don't understand at the core why stuff goes up and down, or the dynamics that push option prices down, like time decay, you know, like strike price, how far it is away from your strike. If you don't know simple shit like this, you are going to make money quick because you got lucky. and you're going to fucking lose it. That's what's going to happen to you. So, and most of you guys don't have a plan going into this. So not only do we teach you all of that, right, the system behind how this market works, how options work together, we're going to teach you strategy as well. We're going to teach you how to find the right strategy that fits your personality. There's a lot of psychological stuff that goes into this game as well. Okay, so we'll tie in all of that, and that's why it's called the Master Course here, because once you take it, you don't need anything else. You don't need anything else. All right. Any other examples? Benny is saying, if possible, can you show tape reading example in futures? I got to open up my Ninja right now, so I'm not going to do that. But with Ninja Trader, or if you have any other futures accounts, all you're looking at is a ladder. You're looking at a ladder of what? What are you looking at, Benny? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? You're looking at a level 2, bro. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at a ladder with limit orders. It's a book of orders, and then you're going to see the transactions hit the tape too. So you're going to see the transactions. You're going to say, you're going to see, oh, somebody just bought a 50 lot on ES. Somebody just bought a 40 lot on ES, and they paid X, Y, and Z, whatever. And then you're going to see the book. You're going to see the book line up with crazy orders. You're going to see people moving orders. Some guys will paint the tape. You remember the dude who got busted? What do they call him? The fucking brown guy who lived in his parents' basement, who they pinned the damn flash crash on. What the hell was his name? What the hell was his name? Singh, Navinder. Poor guy, man. Poor guy. Poor, you know, I want to just call him up and be like, listen, man, you know, you all right, man. Don't let it get you down. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to come back, all right? But spoofing happens everywhere, okay? Spoofing happens in options, spoofing happens in equities, and spoofing damn sure happens in futures. So you might get a 100 contract buy order on a name like Priceline or in a big futures ladder, whatever the hell it is, and then that might disappear. It might disappear. It might come back at a higher price. You got to figure out what these people are trying to do, all right? The whole idea of tape is to find the footprints of the larger players. Okay? You guys are not large players. If you were, you wouldn't fucking be in here. Okay? So what are these guys doing, and how are they doing it? If somebody's out there buying 1 million shares of Apple, they have to do it in a certain way. All right? If somebody's out there selling 1 million shares of Apple, they have to do it in a certain way, and they have to hit the tape. It all hits the tape. So what are the signs, and how do you read it? And that's what we teach you how to do. All right? Any other questions? What else you got? Any other questions at all? Guys, again, sanglucci.com/MC. That'll give you all the details. Faye, you're saying you have a question. We'll ask it. Daniel is saying, what did I play today? Dude, damn, man. Are you people paying attention? I'm in this price line. I played this price line. I played some Apple too. But I didn't buy size. I didn't buy size. I haven't been playing size because this market is all over the place. It's all over the freaking place. Faye is asking, any site to practice live data on? Get Thinkorswim. Get Thinkorswim. Get Thinkorswim. Get Thinkorswim. You don't even have to. I think you have to put a couple $100 in there or whatever, and then you'll get everything. You'll get everything with Thinkorswim. It's just delayed a little bit, but you'll be all right. Jason is saying, what 3 things or however many are most important to you when reading the tape? Jason, what you want? The class right now? That's what you want? Huh? That's what you need? Geo, let's see here. Geo is saying, how do you know what stocks to look at daily? Is it by order flow or IV or what's up? And again, Geo, this question, that question, Geo, right there, like, again, like I can tell where you're at in your trading by the questions you ask. You guys know that, right? So this is how I run these chat rooms. And remember, like I'm pretty much a dickhead. You know what I mean? Like in the chat room. So I can tell what emotions that you're going through, or what you're, where you are in your trading, just by the questions that you ask, and then just by the tone that I read inside, some of the adjectives that you guys might use. Anyways, Gio, you're saying, how do you know what stocks to look at daily? Is it by order flow or IV or what's up? Order flow is one type of strategy. IV is another type of strategy. Or what's up is another type of strategy. There's tons of different strategies out there, Gio. Me personally, I look at the same names over and over and over. I don't look at shit else. This is all I look at. This is it. These 2 lists, this is all I look at. And you know what? Half of these I don't even look at. Like this GoPro, Chipotle, done with. I don't even look at. These are the only names that I look at. Okay, Gio's saying, but you trade the big size. Exactly. So if you want, again, if you're looking for a different type of strategy, if you're looking for a scalping type of strategy, those who scalp need a crap ton of stocks to trade because there isn't enough on a daily basis. So anybody who scalps needs a basket of 600 stocks. If you guys swing trades, you need less stocks. Okay. If you're somewhere in the middle and you're intraday, some of the flow could help you. If you're shorting volatility, then you need a completely different basket than anybody else. If you're trading futures here, what the hell do you need a basket of futures for? Just trade one or two and you're good. Okay? So Gio, again, the question that you should be fucking asking is, what is my damn strategy and how do I find the names that fit my strategy? All right? Not what I'm doing. Not what Fred is doing, not what Connor here is doing, or Faye, or whoever the hell else. It doesn't matter. You need to find out what works for you, and that's all you should give a shit about. Fred is saying, is your masterclass pre-recorded or live? It's live. It's live, bro. When you join, we'll give you the access to all the backlog on it. So you notice you'll get a little portal right here. So you're going to be inside the Steam room. You'll get a little portal right here with all your videos. Okay. So that's basically what it'll look like, right? And you'll get a portal with all your videos and a whole playlist of shit to just go through. You also get a little booklet plus access to another back end as well. Neil is saying, what will the class schedule be? Yeah, if you're not present, it's not that bad, but I would definitely recommend it. I would definitely recommend it because, when you're in there and I'm doing this shit live, there's a lot of cool stuff that you'll get that you just won't really feel as much when you're looking at the recording. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But there's a lot of things that I can bounce off back with you as well. So Neil, if you have a particular issue, let's say an emotional issue or something that you're trying to get over, we can present it to the class. We can present it to the course. Everybody will be like, oh shit, I have that issue too. Let's go ahead and help each other, that kind of thing. So that kind of dynamic, I would recommend, trying to be there live. If you miss a couple, it ain't no thing. There's 12, I think there might be 14 classes in total. They're going to start after Labor Day, and we'll usually do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the evening. Okay. Fred here is saying, just asking because I have a full-time job. If you got the full-time job, of course, sometimes you're unable to sit there and be able to have an hour or 2 hours. Some of these sessions go for 2.5 hours. So again, you can always access the recording. But these are live as well. So you can get the recording for the previous one, or you can get them live too. Faye is saying, as a 9-to-5 slave, what can you recommend as a strategy? I would write options. I wouldn't even go long options. I wouldn't even mess with any of this stuff. That's what I would do. Because most of the time, guys, like when you look at a S&P or when you look at a name like let's look at a name like an Amazon here for the past couple of days. If you notice, it hasn't really done shit. So, you can go 30, 40, 50 points out and just sell shit, right? You just sell these wings. And again, you got to baby them because they do tend to get a little crazy if there's a panic move somewhere here and there. But as long as you have some good risk behind it, I would just write options. That way you can just write them and just let them rock. Put your stops out and let them rock, That's a good way to do it too. Jason is saying, been watching last class. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Any other questions? And again, anybody interested whatsoever, you guys can go ahead and just email us, lucci@sayinglucci.com, contact@sayinglucci.com. Let's see. Faye is saying, let's say you write puts yesterday on SPY. How would you manage that Korean shit? I mean, dude, you'd be screwed, right? So in the morning, you'd get stopped out. And maybe you'd put it back, or maybe you'd add them. But, you don't want to get too reckless out there. Gio is saying, do you write options, then also timing it with SPY if you work full-time? Yeah, And again, Gio's right, because anything can happen overnight, right? So, some crazy shit happens overnight, and what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got to reorganize your whole portfolio, and then you find out it was just a big, huge fake out, and everybody just got scared for no reason. All right. Julian is saying, what's the cost of the course and can you make payments? Yes, yes, absolutely. Ron Cher is saying, what are the class dates coming out? The class dates will come out very soon. Actually, my partner and I are going to figure that out ASAP here. We just know, again, we're going to start after Labor Day, the week after Labor Day, so most likely on the 11th here. Is probably when we're going to start. Again, we'll shoot out those as well. Julian is saying the cost of the course. I think the cost of the course, and again, this is not a language that this is what my guys here take care of. Let's see. If we click here, and again, you get 33% off here if you guys go with. We just have 2 spots left. So click that link on that Start Now there. I don't know why it's not working for me, but you get 33% off. I think it's $2,000. I think. Don't quote me. And yes, you can pay in installments. Yes, we do allow that too. So Julian, go ahead and email us, or we will contact you as well. I'll tell the guys to ping you. We have your email anyway. I got your data, baby. I got it. All right, guys. Take care here, and we will see you soon. There's another one. Neil is saying, will there be another course? Yes, we're going to do another one probably in October as well. Probably in October or November too. So Neil, if you missed this one, it's all good, man. All right, later, guys.